What is going on, everybody? This is NYG Jeffy T85, and I'm going to talk about, in this quick video, about another Nets sharpshooter on the outside that's going to be paying big dividends when, of course, you have guys like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving driving to the basket and leaving somebody open, who obviously made an instant impact when he was traded over to the Brooklyn Nets during that James Harden trade in the middle of the trade deadline last year. And that, of course, I'm talking about Seth Curry. Seth Curry, the younger brother of Steph Curry, doesn't really get as much of the pub as a guy like Steph Curry does, but Seth can handle his own too. This guy is a pretty good sharpshooter and a player from the outside as well. He's able to create his own shot at times. He's being able to hit those mid-range shots. He's also a guy that can also give you those intangibles at times. He's not the greatest defender. Seth Curry's one weakness is he's not the greatest defender out there. He can become a liability at times. But with one thing you're going to get when you have Seth Curry on the court, sharpshooting, three-point shooting. You're going to get this guy that's going to be behind the arc, and he's going to be able to consistently hit those three-point shots for you. That is what Seth Curry's game is going to be. And he's just going to be one of a few guys on this Nets team that are going to be taking advantage of those open looks on the outside, much like he did when he was traded over to Brooklyn because of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving driving to the basket consistently and kicking the ball out to a wide open Seth Curry behind that three-point line, which he most of the time he sank those shots. And Seth Curry last year in 19 games for the Brooklyn Nets, he played in 30 minutes per game about. He scored 15 points per game with a 49% field goal percentage, and he averaged about 3 rebounds and 3 assists at that time when he came over to the Brooklyn Nets. Those are pretty good numbers for a guy that literally just got traded over mid-season and had to learn the system, learn to play with his teammates, and go out there and try to be able to contribute enough to help out this team. And that's exactly what Seth Curry did. Unfortunately, though, he suffered an ankle injury towards the latter part of the season, which slowed him down a little bit. He wasn't able to drive to the basket, make some of those layups, draw some fouls, as he's actually pretty good at drawing fouls too, driving to the basket, as well as maybe get that continued push off his foot to try to hit those three-point shots. So Seth Curry was obviously hampered with that going forward, but Seth Curry is another guy that you look at to help out this Brooklyn Nets team in terms of that outside shooting. You're going to get Joe Harris back from injury. That's going to be a big boost. And you're obviously going to have Patty Mills back after he signed a contract extension with the Nets this past offseason. So you can add a guy like Seth Curry now who's going to get his chance at a full-time playing with the Nets this year. Probably going to be one of the primary players off the bench. I would say the backup shooting guard right now behind Joe Harris. And he's going to get his opportunities to play probably about 15, 17, close to 20 minutes per game, going out there, hitting those three-point shots, the mid-range shots, as well as being able to go drive to the basket and draw fouls, as well as try to rebound for this team going forward too. Seth Curry is not going to be the greatest defensive player, so don't go out there and expect him to be, a Marcus Smart or even a guy on the team right now, Ben Simmons. But what Seth Curry is going to do, he's going to go out there, he's going to hit you your three-point shots, he's going to get you your mid-range shots, and he's going to help this team. He's going to help this team big time because he already did it when he was traded to the team by the trade deadline, and that's what Seth Curry is going to bring. More three-point shooting, which this team badly needs, because they struggled a lot with that last year after Joe Harris got hurt. Seth Curry came in and he did a solid job. And now he's even going to get more help because I would not even be surprised at some points during this season if Steve Nash puts out a guy like Seth Curry along with Joe Harris at times at the same time on the floor to try to give him the Brooklyn Nets 2 legit shooters on the outside with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving out there. If you could throw out a lineup of times of Durant and Irving, as well as Simmons, Curry, and Joe Harris, you have shooters beyond shooters beyond shooters, and a facilitator like Ben Simmons to be able to get the ball to your guys. And Simmons, of course, has the length and the size to be able to go out there and defend the bigs. So you don't have to worry about having a traditional center out there at times if you want to go small ball, because Ben Simmons is 6'10". So you could be able to throw a guy like Ben Simmons out there who can use his size and length to be able to guard the perimeter. So Seth Curry is a guy that I expect to be able to take advantage big time. Having his first full season with the Brooklyn Nets this year. Be able to hit most of those consistent three-point shots because he's going to get his opportunities when he's out there to play. And I expect Seth Curry to be another player on this Brooklyn Nets team to go out there and put up solid numbers, give this team good minutes. Probably won't play the same 30 minutes per game that he did last year because of the fact Joe Harris is going to be back in the lineup, and this Nets team is a lot deeper now with a lot more pieces on this team. Cam Thomas obviously going to be in his second year. He's probably going to get some minutes. TJ Warren now part of this team. Edmund Sumner is now here. You obviously have Patty Mills back that they re-signed this offseason. You might have David Duke Jr. that's going to get some minutes. Kessler Edwards is going to be out there. So maybe Seth Curry is not going to get the same amount of minutes he did last year with not as deep of a bench as it's going to be this year. But Seth Curry is going to be that guy that's going to take advantage of Kevin Durant being able to drive to the basket and kick it out to those guys. So I look for Seth Curry to be one of those big contributors coming off the bench for this Brooklyn Nets team, and maybe even at times starting for this team going forward, because Seth Curry is a sharpshooter, and when you have guys like Durant and Irving, you need sharpshooters on the outside. That's one thing this Nets consistently did not have. Besides perimeter defense and besides inside toughness and rebounding, they didn't have consistent sharpshooters on the outside because of that Joe Harris injury and because of the fact that Patty Mills was burnt out throughout the entire season, playing way too many minutes when he never did that in his career prior. But Seth Curry is going to bring that element to this offense for the Brooklyn Nets. And he's going to be a guy that the Nets will look for on the outside. And I cannot wait to see what Seth Curry is going to bring to the table for this Brooklyn Nets team going forward. So that's my video I wanted to give you guys today about Seth Curry and his importance to this perimeter shooting for the Brooklyn Nets going into this 2022-2023 NBA season, and the big-time contributions he's going to bring to this Nets team in terms of the outside shooting. So if you guys like this video, please hit the like button below. Sub up to NYGJeffyT85 for more news, breaking news updates, and chatter surrounding the Brooklyn Nets. Turn on the bell for notifications on when the next video or shorts can be dropping on the channel surrounding the Brooklyn Nets. And let me know in the comments section what you guys think about Seth Curry's game coming to the season, how he's going to be able to help this Brooklyn Nets team throughout the 2022-2023 NBA season, what he's going to bring to the table for this team in his first full season as a Brooklyn Net. So I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your Saturday. Take it easy, and let's go Brooklyn Nets. It's a Nets world, baby, and you're just living in it.